There is a sound on every farm that most people never truly hear. A low, rumbling moo, rising softly in the early morning mist. To the untrained ear, it's just a cow. To a farmer who has spent 10,000 mornings with this animal, it's a conversation. Cows have been living alongside humans for over 10,000 years, and in all that time, they have never stopped talking to us. The problem is, most of us simply forgot how to listen. Today, we are going to fix that. This is the story of how cows communicate with each other and with the farmers who know them best. Let us start with something most people do not know. Every single cow on Earth has a unique voice. Not similar voices, not recognizable if you listen closely voices, completely individual, like fingerprints. Research from the University of Sydney studied 333 vocalizations from a herd of Holstein Friesian cows over 5 months. What they found changed how we understand these animals. Each cow's voice remained consistent, whether she was excited, distressed, hungry, or isolated. Her voice was her identity, constant across her entire life. The lead researcher, Alexandra Green, described it simply. She said, and I quote, that cattle vocal individuality is stable across their entire lives. Farmers who spent years with the same herd could tell, without looking, which cow was calling from across the field. Cattle farmer Neville Catt put it simply, not only do I talk to cattle, I think they talk to me. Now here is where it gets interesting. Cows produce two distinct types of calls, high-frequency calls and low-frequency calls. High-frequency calls are urgent and loud, the cry of a cow separated from her calf, her herd, or her expected meal. Low-frequency calls, soft, rumbling, social. These are the sounds of contentment, of a herd talking amongst itself, the quiet hum of cattle society. Researchers at Dalhousie University have now built artificial intelligence systems that can distinguish between these two states with an accuracy of up to 98%. But experienced farmers have been doing the same thing by ear for generations. The ears say everything. Forward means curiosity. Flat back means fear or anger. The tail tells the same story. Raised high means agitation. Hanging loose and low, she is completely at peace. Sound is only half the conversation. The other half is written all over a cow's body. A cow's eyes are remarkable. Set on the sides of its head, they provide a field of vision of nearly 360 degrees. A cow can see almost everything around it except one small blind spot directly in front of its own nose. Cows can detect smells from over 10 kilometers away. Before you see a storm coming, a cow already smells it. Touch is the most intimate language on the farm. Cows are so sensitive they can feel a single fly land on their coat. A rough, sudden grab creates anxiety. A slow, firm, familiar hand creates trust. The difference is everything. Many modern farms now install large rotating brushes in their barns. The cows use them completely voluntarily. They will cue for their turn. Researchers observing this behavior noted something remarkable. The cows who had access to brushes showed measurably lower stress hormones in their blood. Eye contact between a cow and a human is also a form of communication, though not the same as between two people. Direct eye contact feels like a challenge to a cow. Soft sideways glances, the kind good farmers use naturally, read as safe. Head held high means alert and watching. Head low and swaying gently, she is deeply relaxed and content. A cow approaching with head low and ears forward is an invitation. She is curious, not aggressive. Farmers learn to read these signals the way the rest of us read faces. After years together, it becomes second nature. Cows also communicate through licking. Mutual grooming, one cow licking another's neck or back, is how close bonds are maintained within a herd. And here is something that will change the way you see a field of cows. They have best friends. When a cow is separated from her closest companion, her stress hormones spike and her milk production drops, visibly distressed. Now, let us talk about the part that matters most to the farmers themselves, the bond. Cows recognize human faces. This is not folklore, this is documented science. They also distinguish between tones of voice. A calm voice relaxes them. A sharp, raised voice puts them on edge immediately. Experienced farmers naturally modulate their voices around cattle, lower, slower, steadier. Without thinking about it, they've learned the language. Cows also have long-term memory. They remember individual humans, sometimes for years. They remember routines with precision. A particular tractor sound means feeding time. A specific tool scrape means the milking parlor. A dairy cow walks the same path to the milking parlor every day at the same time because her body tells her when. Milk consistently at the same hour and production increases. The body and mind of a cow are deeply connected to routine. Farmers who keep schedules, move calmly, and speak softly tend to produce more milk. The science confirms what generations already knew. Stress is a silent thief. One loud noise, one aggressive dog, one unfamiliar handler can suppress milk production for days. This is why the quality of the human-animal relationship on a farm is not just an ethical matter, it's an economic one. The most productive dairy farms in the world tend to be the ones where the cows are known individually, named, observed daily, responded to. There are farms where every cow has a name, and the farmers know, without any technology, which cow is not herself today. They know by the way she stands, by whether she's eating, by the sound of her call that morning. This is not mystical. This is pattern recognition developed over thousands of hours of quiet observation. Cows can learn to solve problems and remember the solution for months. When they crack it, they show visible signs of excitement. Researchers describe the cows as showing something remarkably close to joy, a eureka moment in a cow. These are not machines. These are not products. These are intelligent social beings, and they have been all along. And they have been trying to talk to us for 10,000 years. The question is whether we have been listening. A herd of cattle is not a random collection of animals. It's a society with hierarchy, with alliances, with history. There is a dominant cow in every herd. She is not necessarily the largest, she is the one the others watch, the one they follow. When the dominant cow moves to water, the others follow in order of rank, every single time. Farmers who understand the structure never tried to move the whole herd at once. They move the lead cow and the rest follow. Cattle form close friendships that can last their entire lives. These bonds are not casual, they are specific, preferential, and deeply felt. Cows housed with their preferred partner had measurably lower heart rates and produced more milk. The bond is biological. When a herd grows beyond around 50 animals, something shifts. Cows can no longer maintain the individual bonds that keep them calm. Social bonds weaken. Stress rises. Small, well-managed herds consistently outperform industrial operations on animal welfare and on yield. Calves and their mothers form the most powerful bond in cattle society. From the moment of birth, they know each other's voices. The mother recognizes her calf among dozens of others by voice alone, even when she can't see it. When a cow is separated from her calf, her calls shift to a higher frequency, louder, more urgent, relentless. This is among the most discussed topics in modern animal welfare science because it raises a question that doesn't have a comfortable answer. If a cow calls for her calf with that urgency, what does she feel when separated? The behavior speaks for itself. On farms where calves stay with mothers longer, calves grow faster, mothers produce more willingly, and both are calmer. Nature, as it turns out, had a good design all along. The best farmers have always known this, and the best farms reflect it. The science of cow communication is still young, and what researchers are discovering is extraordinary. At Virginia Tech, a $650,000 grant is building an acoustic database, mapping cow emotions through sound alone. At Dalhousie University, the Moo Analytica project has built AI models that detect cow stress from audio alone with up to 98% accuracy. The goal is not to replace the farmer's intuition, it's to give every farmer, even beginners, the tools to listen more deeply. There is also research into how music affects cattle. And yes, it is exactly what you might hope. Slow music, particularly classical, increases milk production in dairy cows. The mechanism is simple. Calm cows produce more. Some farms now play music continuously in their barns. The farmers report not just higher yields, but quieter, more settled herds. Cows mirror the humans around them. A nervous handler makes a nervous cow. A calm handler makes a calm cow. This is called emotional contagion. The cow reads cortisol signals, the stress hormone, partly through smell, and adjusts accordingly.
This is why the job of a good herdsman is not just physical, it is psychological. The quality of your presence matters. Some farmers meditate before entering the barn. They slow their breathing deliberately because they know the cows will feel it. It sounds poetic, it is also increasingly measurable. New wearable sensor technology for cattle can now monitor heart rate, temperature, and movement continuously, sending alerts to a farmer's phone if something changes. But the farmers who know their animals best, they still say the same thing. The technology confirms what I already felt. The ancient knowledge and the new science are converging, and what they are both saying is the same thing. Listen to the animal, know the animal, respect the animal, and the animal will give you everything it has. We began this film with a sound, a low rumbling moo rising in the morning mist. That sound had a specific meaning. It came from a specific individual, and it was heard or not heard by someone specific. What we hope you take from this is not just information, it is a shift in perspective. You will no longer see a uniform herd, you will see a society, individuals, friends, mothers, leaders. You will notice who stands closest to whom, who watches the others, which ears are forward and which are back. You will notice the farmer, too, whether his shoulders are tense or relaxed, whether he moves fast or slow, and why it matters. 10,000 years of partnership, and we are only now beginning to understand what the best farmers have always felt. The cows were never silent. We were. If this gave you something to think about, something you did not know before, then this channel has done its job. The Grazing Hour is a channel dedicated to the lives of farm animals and the farmers who know them. Every week we go deeper. Next week, the farm dog, the working bond between a border collie and the farmer who trusts her with the entire flock. If you have watched this far, you are exactly the kind of person this channel was made for. Subscribe so the next story finds you. Leave a comment below. Tell us, had you ever thought of cows this way before today? Every comment tells us this is worth continuing, and every one of them is read. The grass is always greener when you understand what is grazing on it. Until next week,